Good evening and welcome to NEWSBREAK Live. I'm Hiba Samad. Thanks for joining us. A shelter was in place and it was ordered this morning at a local school in Torrance. The Torrance Unified School District emailed a letter to Kai Mayor Middle School parents explaining that for about 30 minutes, students and staff were asked to stay indoors. This was due to a strong odor in the air. The action was taken just as a precaution, but soon after Torrance Fire Department arrived, they found the smell was a result of a natural phenomenon released from the ocean floor. School staff says that as practiced during emergency drills, students and staff did a fantastic job and everything went smoothly. Activities and regular school schedule continued for the rest of the day. Torrance Police is encouraging drivers to follow the law, especially in school zones. There have been several reports of traffic concern in particular areas, including Hallison Street near Birtland Middle School, Lincoln Avenue near Torrance Elementary, and Paseo de Arena near Riviera Elementary. Despite motor officers educating the public and enforcing traffic, drivers are still breaking the law. Recently, 8 motorists were cited for stop sign violations, and 3 were ticketed for failure to obey posted signs. When you're driving in a school zone, remember to slow down, put away distractions, and keep an eye out for pedestrians and school buses. And you may have noticed something different about Torrance police officers' uniforms lately. They're wearing pink patches, especially designed for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Torrance Police joined the Pink Patch Project, a collaborative effort between the Los Angeles County Police Chiefs Association and dozens of public safety agencies across the globe to fight breast cancer. The Pink Patch promotes conversation within the community and encourages public awareness about the importance of early detection. Nearly 1 in 8 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer in their lifetime. The public campaign was designed to help support research efforts to combat the devastating disease. As we get ready for another winter season, El Camino health experts are urging their students and staff to get their flu shots. El Camino College hosted their annual flu shot clinic today, where people stopped by for their flu vaccines.
It is so important for you to come out and get your flu shot. We've had so many deaths last year because so many did not get the flu shot, especially those that have morbidity diseases. We encourage you to come out. Those that have diabetes, respiratory ailments, children. So please come out.
Yeah, we also cover a student and employee here so they can get benefit from the flu shot.
According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, this past flu season was one of the deadliest in the last 40 years. An estimated 80,000 Americans died of flu and its complications. Influenza activity usually increases in the months of October and November. It takes about 2 weeks after getting the vaccine before the antibodies begin to work. The vaccine is completely free for students, and employees are asked to pay a small fee. Now, the flu shot clinic will be open from 9:30 to 1:30 every day through Thursday at El Camino's Library Lawn. And if you miss it, you can always stop by the health center to get your vaccines. Now, this is only for El Camino College students, so if you are looking to get a flu vaccine, you can go to your local pharmacy or urgent clinic. Employees from a local business took time out of their busy day to put smiles on faces of children in the hospital. At the Happy Hats for Kids office in Torrance today, more than 25 local Target employees put their creative skills to work as they decorated hero hats. These are then given to young hospitalized patients fighting deadly illnesses at Torrance hospitals. Happy Hats for Kids in Hospitals is a nonprofit that started in 1991 to bridge a gap between hospitals' youngest patients and their treatments. The whimsical hats uplift the morale of the brave and courageous children. The volunteers also sew and package the gifts throughout the year. More than 1 million kids have received these hats to date. To learn more, go to happyhatsforkids.org. A group of delegates from the city of Torrance are heading to Kashiwa, Japan. Every 5 years, city officials head to Kashiwa, Japan, and tomorrow, 28 people will be on their way, marking the 45th anniversary of this journey. It's part of the Goodwill Anniversary Visits program, inviting city officials and also sister city association members. Like the student exchange program, delegates are hosted to strengthen ties of friendship, goodwill, and cooperation between the two cities. The relationship is also symbolized each year through the planting of trees During the anniversary celebrations, a Kashua oak planted in Kashua and a cherry blossom tree planted in Torrance. A Torrance Sister City Association has been promoting this friendship since 1973. The delegates will return next Monday. For more information, go to torrancesistercity.org. Want to be part of one of Torrance's oldest traditions? Well, right now is the time to sign up. Tonight, the Torrance Rosefoot Association will host a meeting in the West Annex Commission Room. Volunteers interested in decorating must be available between Christmas and New Year's. There are 2 shifts a day happening to make sure the float is ready in time for New Year's Day. The first orientation is happening on October 18th. The theme is, for 2019, The Melody of Life, which celebrates music, the universal language. There are 90 days left until the big day, and of course, Torrance City Cable will be there on that day. Go to torrancerosefloat.org to become a member and find the forms to sign up for a shift to decorate. A company headquartered in Torrance is making some big changes. Alpine Electronics of America, Inc. announced it has plans to move its headquarters to Michigan by April 2019. They plan to offer more than 100 employees options to move to Michigan. 80 employees plan to remain in Torrance, leasing a smaller office in the city. Now, Alpine Electronics is an automotive electronics manufacturer that provides consumers and leading automakers with audio, video, navigation, and driver assistant products. It was founded in 1978. Starting today, a Torrance brewery is launching a way for customers to try various flavors. Smock City Brewing announced it now has autumn or core flights that customers can pick from, giving people a chance to taste some of Smock City's best. But patrons will still be able to order their own flights a la carte. Smock City Brewing Company started in 2011, and in the first year alone, they were able to brew and distribute 240 barrels. Most recently, the company joined a unique project called Steelcraft in Long Beach. People can come out to an outdoor beer garden, enjoy some flavorful food options while tasting some Smock City beer. And speaking of Smock City, their flavors were also put to test recently. Nearly 73 California breweries received medals at the Great American Beer Festival, one being Smock City. At the ceremony in Colorado, more than 2,400 breweries entered nearly 9,000 beers into 104 beer categories at the largest competition in the United States for commercially brewed beer. This was the second win for their one-of-a-kind Kumquat Saison product. The event was put on by the California Craft Brewers Association, a nonprofit trade association representing the craft and specialty brewing industry in the Golden State. Let's get to the weather now. Today there was a high of 75 with an expected low of 64 tonight. And tomorrow you can expect some showers, so make sure you bring those umbrellas, but there will be a high of 73. Then temps will drop to a low of 59 on Thursday. Tonight during City Council, members will mark this Friday as a time for people to learn more about the manufacturing industry. This Friday is National Manufacturing Day in the city of Torrance, a celebration of modern manufacturing meant to inspire the next generation. It's also a time to address common misconceptions about the industry and giving people a first look at facilities and what manufacturing is. Various companies across the country host events. Here in Torrance, so far, Celestron LLC has announced it will host one on October 26th at 2:30 p.m. You'll be able to tour the optical and assembly departments as well as their on-site observatory. Manufacturing contributes $2.2 billion to California's gross domestic product. You can register for the event by going to MFG Day and searching for Celestron's event. Tomorrow you may receive an unusual text, but don't worry, it's just a test. Americans nationwide will receive alerts on their cell phones from President Donald Trump. The test is scheduled for tomorrow afternoon. It's the first of a national presidential alert system that will allow the president to issue a warning when a crisis happens. Government agencies nationwide have issued more than 40,000 emergency alerts to cell phones since 2012. Now, the story will get you hungry because this Thursday, you can eat all day at a great price. October 4th marks National Taco Day, which means many restaurants are offering prices too hard to pass up. Del Taco is celebrating with a buy one, get one free special on their shredded beef soft taco. Taco Bell is also offering 4 tacos for $5. It includes their crunchy taco, fiery, cool ranch, and nacho cheese Doritos Locos tacos. El Pollo Loco is giving customers a chance to buy 1 taco platter and then get the next one for free. According to nationaltacoday.com, listen to this, Americans last year ate more than 4.5 billion tacos. And here's some upcoming events. Tomorrow, once again, the Torrance South Bay YMCA is hosting a community health screening from 9 a.m. Walk-ins are welcomed. This Thursday, Jennifer Goldstein, who is considered the senior empowering guru, will host a free seminar called Should I Stay or Should I Go at the Depot restaurant this Thursday. It's a seminar for aging individuals and their adult children to help them make informed decisions about whether to stay in their home or sell. Then this Sunday, head on over to Wilson Park with the family to enjoy a public ride on the Southern Live Steamer's mini train. The run day will take place from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. The trains are located on the eastern end of the park near the picnic tables. Well, in just 2 minutes, Kim Fuentes will talk about how you can take steps to decrease your carbon footprint during Rideshare Week. We'll be back in just a few minutes.
Palm trees, coastline, craft brews. Yep, this is Southern California. But this is Torrance. Have you ever driven to a whole other city just for a bowl of ramen? Because if you haven't, that's about to change. Have you ever been to a beach that feels so much like your own private beach that you're like, where has this been all my life? Welcome, my friends, to Torrance Beach. So private, you hadn't even heard of it. Have you ever been to a mall that had literally 2.7 million square feet of shopping? Run, don't walk to Del Amo Fashion Center. And get this, Torrance is the actual epicenter of the South Bay's craft brew industry. I guess you could say the brews are just craftier here. We also have a farmer's market that's just as much about the people as it is about the food. And even our museum scene is the best of the South Bay. All this just 15 minutes from LAX. You'll come for the city, stay for the experience, and leave as a friend. So, are you in?
Every year, humans habitually gather for what they call the summer barbecue. Unfortunately, leaving hot coals improperly extinguished can cause a wildfire. Now, could it be?
Hey guys, it's Smokey!
By George, it's Smokey Bear. These friends are going to learn a thing or two about extinguishing hot coals. Indeed, it looks as if Smokey is going to use the drown, stir, drown and feel technique. After the first drown, a good stir. Next, another long quenching drink for the hot coals. Chilling. And finally, a close feel to confirm they're safe to leave. Smokey has this mastered.
Cool? Okay.
Bang on, Smokey.
Hey, Smokey! Catch! Oh. My bad, Smokey.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Welcome back to the second half of NewsBreak Live, and joining me is Kim Fuentes, who is the transportation consultant for the city of Torrance. Welcome on NewsBreak.
Hi.
How are you tonight?
Very good, thank you.
And you're here because we're talking about Rideshare Week, which is underway right now. So talk to me about the purpose of this week.
So Rideshare Week is really to remind people to rideshare, and the theme for this year is It's Your Life, Enjoy the Ride. And it's really about enjoying the ride and hoping to encourage people to rideshare, or if they haven't usually rideshare, to start to try to rideshare.
What does the word rideshare mean for beginners, for people who are like, what is rideshare?
So rideshare is a generic term that actually defines how you get to work other than solo driving. So it can be carpooling, it can be van pooling, walking, it can be bicycle riding, or using public transit. So it just means not taking the car by yourself to work.
And the city of Torrance did proclaim October 1st through the 5th as Rideshare Week. And as you mentioned, encouraging people to take different modes of transportation. So what can people do this week and even beyond this week to decrease their carbon footprint?
So this week, it would be great if they got a friend or a neighbor to actually ride share with them to work or to use an alternate mode of transportation, which would be great. But there's other ways that they can actually reduce their carbon footprint, and that is they can reduce their energy use, they can reduce their water use. Those things also actually help reduce their carbon footprint.
As a transportation consultant, you know firsthand ways that people can carpool and use other modes of transportation. But why do you think people, kind of drive themselves to work or drive themselves by themselves to the mall? What's stopping them from using transit and other forms of transportation?
I think a lot of times people don't understand that they have a lot of options. And there's a lot of services out there that can give them information. So, for example, Torrance Transit has information about what kinds of transit routes you can take, what time the bus shows up. There is information at Metro about how you can get carpool partners. And Torrance, the city of Torrance actually runs a multi-employer van pool program that people can utilize. So a lot of it is just getting information in their hands and then trying it, because after you use it for a while, they actually I think people really find out that it's a better way to get to work.
And you just mentioned one of many programs the city hosts to encourage people to use other modes of transportation. So what else does the city of Torrance do? You've worked with the city for more than 20 years.
Yes, one of the other things, and I think over the last few years, there's been a lot of interest in using electric vehicles. And the city has been doing a wonderful job at building infrastructure so people can use their electric vehicle to drive into the work site. And the city has put in electric vehicle charging stations all over the city. So what's nice is that when you're going to your place of business, you can use electric vehicle charging, but also when you're using a lot of the local businesses. So when you're going out to lunch, you can easily charge up. So the city's done a great job at that as well.
And that's, for viewers who don't know, part of their 1 mile, 1 charger project, which they've facilitated. And their goal is to have an electric charger for every mile throughout the city. And currently they have more than 582 public charging station ports. So what does that mean to you that the city has so many different ports where people can actively charge their EV vehicles? Because I'm sure a lot of cities don't have this.
For me personally, it's wonderful because I actually drive an electric vehicle and I drive a long distance to the city. So I really need to charge on this end. So it's great. I do a lot of my commute planning or my meeting planning around where those electric vehicle chargers are going to be. And so I think it's a real advantage for a city that has those chargers throughout. And then it's great for the employees, not only for the city of Torrance employees, but for our local employers. It's really a great benefit for the community.
And the city has also approved a climate action plan. So what does that mean?
So the climate action plan was just recently approved by the city council at the end of last year, and it really shows the council's commitment to reducing its carbon footprint. And an inventory was taken of its greenhouse gases, and the city has shown that it's really on track to reduce its carbon or its greenhouse gases. And we estimate that approximately it's going to hit by about 2035, about a 49% decrease in its carbon. And that's primarily going to come from transportation as well as energy use. And so that's reducing not only in the community, people doing like building more energy efficiency buildings, but also the city doing improvements, operational improvements to their own municipal facilities.
Wonderful. And the great thing about the city of Torrance is we do have a transit system that has 11 permanent routes and it takes you throughout Los Angeles County. Is there anything else you'd like to add about that? It also has 63 alternate fueled buses with nearly 4 million riders annually. And I know they have a lot of new technology that they've implemented with new apps and everything. So I know as a driver, sometimes we're scared to get on a bus, especially since it's not a usual form of transportation for many people, especially living in Los Angeles. We want to drive everywhere. But what are some benefits of taking a bus?
The bus system is really wonderful in the city of Torrance, and we find that most of the travel in the city is less than 5 miles, which is an option. It's a perfect opportunity for a bus trip. And with all of the different services that Torrance Transit puts out, as well as their apps, it's ideal for that. And it's really going to take you to all the locations that you need to get to.
The city also hosts various different events throughout the year to spread awareness about commuting. Can you talk to me a little bit about those?
Yes, one of those is Transit Week. And that's where the Torrance Transit really encourages people to try transit if they haven't for the first time. We also do Bike to Work Day, and that was just recently done, and they promote bicycling to work. And then we just had this week, obviously, is Rideshare Week, and it's just encouraging people to rideshare and use all alternate modes of transportation.
When it comes to driving an electric vehicle, I know you mentioned that. As someone who drives one, what is the experience like? Why would you encourage others to maybe invest in an EV vehicle?
I think foremost, it's wonderful because you're doing something for the environment. It's wonderful for that reason. But also, there's a lot of advantages to it. You're going to be able to get, if you have a vehicle that's almost all electric, you're going to be able to get into the carpool lane, so that's nice. A lot of times you're going to get some preferential parking because of the parking stalls around the EV chargers, so that's really great. And it saves on, gasoline. You're not going to be paying a lot of money for gasoline. So those are all really good reasons to use electric vehicles.
With your experience, I know you mentioned to me that 450 City of Torrance employees actively rideshare. Is that an average? Is that more than usual?
That actually is more than usual. The City of Torrance employees are extremely committed. And that number equals about 33% of the employees coming into the work site. That's a very strong commitment. And they do a lot of different things. It's a range of all those different modes. And they're very active, and they have been for several years. I think they really serve as a model for other employers that any business that's really committed can really do it. And that's because of I think the great services and incentives that the city puts forward, as well as the support of the city council.
That's amazing. And with Rideshare Week underway, and for viewers who might be tuning in right now, is there anything you'd like to add as far as tips to taking that first step to reduce carbon footprint for many people? Because it's such a routine to just get in our cars, fill up our gas, and go.
Right. I would say just try it one day a week. Just try one day a week. And I think a lot of times some of our local advertising has said just try like Thursday. Just try one day a week and see if you can do it and be committed to that one day. And that will help. It helps to reduce congestion. It helps to reduce air pollution. And it obviously helps reduce carbon.
And with recent reports, and recently the city of, Los Angeles County was ranked as one of the most, polluted places. So I think that goes to show that people across the county need to make more of an effort to be more green.
Yes, that's true. I think the more that we can do individually, collectively, we can be stronger.
Is there anything else you'd like to add about Rideshare Week before we go?
I think just everybody try it, try it one day before the end of the week and see how you like it and enjoy the ride.
Thank you, Kim. Well, I appreciate your time. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Well, that does it for NewsBreak Live. If you ever have news or video that you'd like to share, please email us at newsbreak@torranceca.gov. Also, if you missed any portion of the show, you can catch it on Torrance City Cable's YouTube page. Have a great night.